Alrighty, everyone. Hello and welcome to the CTF Draft Teams Tournament Finals. I'm Bosque, and I'm joined here by my wonderful co-commentators.
Hello, I am Trevor.
And I am Pesto.
And we're here to bring you the action on this exciting final matchup between Good Vibes and Choowie Force tonight. Definitely a little bit of a late stream compared to our usual fare, but it's what works best for both teams. So apologies to our European viewers, but we should have a very exciting match tonight that will hopefully not let you fall asleep as it goes on.
Yeah, we're going to have a very tough match today with Choowie Force and Good Vibes. Both very good teams. These two teams met in week 2 of the group stage with Good Vibes winning in 2, actually.
Pretty surprising, honestly. Map 1 in that match was 2-1, so pretty close. But then it was a pretty dominant showing in Map 2 with a pretty clean 3-0. So we'll see if Choowie Force have maybe put that in the lab to see what went wrong, and hopefully they can make some good adjustments for this tournament final.
Yeah, this first map, though, is going to be very good for them. The Blackout is definitely one of their comfort picks. They've got players who definitely like playing on here in Choowie and Brandino B, both of whom should be high impact if they want to be able to come back and win this matchup. This is going to be an 11v11, by the way. Very interesting size, and also a very interesting game to jump right into. We had a bit of a short start today. Apologies on that, but we've already got teams heading up towards the sides of the map and towards XX. Let's get this finals underway. Already here on red side of the map, we see Tireless roaming up to look for Blue's offense, but Blue's offense appears to have thrown them a little bit of a wrench, and Color and Pudgy are going to be getting a late start here on the side of the map. Tireless is trying to hunt them down, but goes down immediately to Color, and already we see Choowie Force lose one of their ninjas here while roaming. D2J also goes for Color as well, and they do have Brandino B overlooking this little fight here, which could cause problems. Pudgy is off the map, and that's going to be a quick end to Blue's offense on the first time around. Ducks fan on the other side did get a steal, but went down fairly quickly. Nemo goes down on the backup steal as well, and both defenses off to a solid start.
Yeah, really nice job on Blue team, because as I said in chat about a minute ago, Blue is down 2 players, so I'm not sure if the 2 players are offense or defense players. So, nice on them for facing the full brunt of an offense while down players.
Yep. Now, we do see Red's offense here, organizing on Blue XX. Ducks fan and Sabwoo are going to get very close here, although they are split up on the way in. Wolfie already going after Sabwoo and putting a fair amount of damage in. However, he does have a lot of gas left in the tank. You'll remember that this is Old Chemist for the duration of the tournament, and will be the last match where Old Chemist, Old Assassin, and a bunch of other pre-update classes are played.
It was bad to Chemist players, but maybe now they won't be as carried with Resistance.
Yeah, honestly, Chemist kind of a crutch. Pretty mild take at this point.
Yeah.
So we do see Red's offense again organizing on Blue side. Blue is unprotected right now, but it looks like Blue's defense is mostly focusing on the other players here. Blue finally does get death tagged, but he's out of melee range for most of the team. Cameron is able to knock him down and assassinate him, and now just Ducks fan is trying to make it into the flag room alone. Doodleberry does respawn there as Ducks fan dies, and it's another successful defense for Blue here. Also interesting right now, there's an Archer matchup going on top here. Valicon and Brandino B trading shots. This will be a very important matchup for the game, as both of these Archers do like to control mid when it's available. Although, unlike a certain other Inting Archer here, not afraid to fall back when necessary. Brandino B does win the first volley there, though, as we did see a lot more pressure from Red team onto Valicon in that duel.
Yeah, they're very important, not only to give your Archer top mid control, but also to help the Archer in those duels. Because duels, if it's 2 good duelists, they can take a pretty good amount of time.
You all right there, Trev?
What was that?
My neck. Heard out or something?
No.
You echoed repeatedly, which is interesting. Are there 4 of you there?
Probably. Who knows? I have a lot of personality disorders, so.
Already, though, a fairly slow and comfortable start to the game for both teams' defenses. Tireless roaming up there to help out Ducks fan, but it's not quite going to be enough. Nemo might get the backup steal there, but does actually get assassinated by Gamron. Gamron definitely a player that we've seen a lot of value for Good Vibes from in the past. Pretty big impact player, and if he's doing well, his team's defense is doing well. Additionally, also worth noting here, B-Swan is in on offense. Apparently, Good Vibes are waiting for Justin, their regular soldier capper, to enter the match. The game's been deadlocked so far, and Justin joins just as I say that. So looks like they'll actually be switching things up a little further. Okay, my apologies. Justin apparently invisible in tab.
Yeah, speaking of Justin, we have he's here with Pudgy. Sorry, my bad. Justin's heading into the flag room, but he's gonna get frenzied by Choowie. Pudgy's left all alone.
Yeah, so it looks like the substitution they made then was Exedra is no longer playing, and B-Swan is in on offense instead.
Exedra might be having lag issues. This whole tournament, he's been kind of known for lagging out multiple times. Kind of unfortunate it happens at the tournament final. But hopefully B-Swan can put in just as much work as Exedra can on offense.
I'm confident B-Swan.
Yeah, definitely difficult role for him to be playing right now, though, as he's usually not played soldier in this tournament, instead preferring to be in the role where he's supporting the rest of his team's offense, supporting the medic and so on.
Yeah, versus trying to cap, exactly.
So one thing we're also seeing here is that Imposed has roamed up to middle. This is where she tends to like to play.
Oh, it goes down.
Yeah, again, a ninja steal from B2. This is not the first time he's tried that so far in this game even. But it looks like they're catching him at about the same spot at middle, so maybe blue team wise to his tricks already.
Yeah, he's about to try again here. Or he's going to Pyro, and that's what he's doing. And he makes room for Sabu to get out, but he is getting cornered here by Dual Bear with a death tag as well.
Medic could get this restore right here.
Yeah, and a restore on a chemist, especially with this death tag about to run out, can do a lot. Sabu does go down, but there's a lot of red moving into the flag room here. Good assassinates are able to get some value there from Impost, but not quite enough, and the already weakened red offense does go down inside the flag room after Sabu.
And Sabu both making tilting-like comments about Finder. It looks like he's giving them a lot of trouble.
Speaking of giving people trouble, Brandino B goes down there as Wolfie nearly pressures him to his death. Valicon now fighting Imposed on mid. Imposed trying to take mid control from the Archer. It'll be interesting to see if someone comes to help out Valicon, but no, he's able to take the 1v1 and secure the kill, securing the bag, most likely, for the rest of his team's defense, as he's now able to help them out.
Maybe SimCB would have gotten that kill, but you know that's old history. Bygons can be good Bygons.
Yeah, very spicy trade on the first day that Trev's referencing. SimCP and Imposed swapping teams immediately after the draft. As a result, yeah. Now, speaking of Impost, she is in position to assassinate Pudgy, does get the kill, and that will likely reset Blue's offense here. Valicon also down as well, so we should see a good opportunity here for Red, where they're going to be able to commit a little more to their offense. Sabu and Duxfan are already at the flag, although Dux has been death tagged, and we're going to see a big group burst into the flag room here already. Sabu able to make it out towards XX, not a lot of support here with him, but definitely gotten out pretty far. Tireless does roam up to kill the ninjas, so he does have support now, but headshot comes in from Valicon. Lazy Nemo picks up the flag, and that might actually be a little better, since he does have health pots and now is able to get the restore. Always a dangerous position to be in here up on the edge, though, as he can be hit into the void pretty easily by ninjas. Wolfie trying to get that off, and Doodleberry able to finish him there. Always the biggest risk of playing Chemist on offense. If you have to go that far side, you know, you can actually have your whole team's protection and still get knocked off the side. It's why Chemist is considered very difficult to play on here, even pre-update. Still, we have Sabu going back in, does go down, and looks like Red's offense will probably reset here. Although Duxfan doesn't seem to have gotten the memo.
Or did Sabu and Tireless, but Sabu goes down, Duxfan, and we're going to see B2 try and solo kill the Pyro or steal. No luck on either front.
Valicon's made it up to top mid as Brandino is getting more pressure still from Wolfie. Valicon immediately getting value as a result. So this is something that Good Vibes definitely like to do, pressure the Archer with Wolfie, who plays the matchup well. I think it's worth noting. The Ninja v Archer matchup is definitely a very interesting one. And someone like Wolfie, who understands the matchup well, understands the ways to get after an archer, in addition to just being a good PvPer, is really well set up for it. Interesting, though, that Tireless again is here supporting Lou and was able to kill Wolfie before any further damage got onto the medic. Looks like Tireless is going after the Pyro here. Nearly takes out Netflix. He's on 3 hearts, and there's no flag room medic right now, so the Pyro could just go down as the offense comes in.
Looks like B2 will be able to kill him. Yeah, this could be a free steal.
Almost gets the steal, but Doodleberry7 in a good position right there. Already doing a fair amount of work so far this game. It's worth noting.
Huge deadlock here. I'm not really surprised at 11v11. Super good defenses.
Down. Xedra keeps lagging out. They are down again. I think it's not even worth it putting in their better offender. I think you should just keep solid connection B-Swanning over their kind of carry offense player, in my opinion.
I would agree with you.
Nice little combo there from Red Team's defense. Inpo's distracting Justin, so Brandino is able to get the headshot while he's blocking. Again, looks like Blue Team's offense is going to be stifled here, as Pudgy is alone there on offense and will probably go down. Both teams definitely playing a strong defense here, which might be a little bit boring for the spectators, but hey, you know, a lot of interesting little 1v1 matchups going on across the map. Hope we're capturing them on stream, because some of these little fights and battles for positioning across the map, as well as the little things that players like Inpost are doing to go up to middle and try and harass players, are actually pretty interesting. Inpost here is going to respawn after running all the way out to mid, so thinking better of her initial decision to commit there. We do see Lou go down alongside Sabu outside of the flag room. Choowie Force has, I think it's fair to say, been getting the better steal so far, although B-Swan does go in and die there. Stealing, as I mentioned that. But the one big steal has been from Sabu with some support from Nemo. It'll be interesting to see if that trend keeps up, because Blue Team really hasn't even been getting opportunities.
I'm not sure what the offense and defense composition is, because 11v11 is such an awkward number, because you're never sure if you should run 4 offense, 7 defense, or 5 offense and 6 defense. I'm not sure what other team is doing this match.
Yeah, and interestingly as well, what we've seen Good Vibes sacrifice here, compared to their 12v12 lineup, is their defensive medic.
Yeah, very weird to me.
So that could be contributing to why some of these steals are happening, because, you know, Netflix is getting pressured pretty hard in the flag room and there's no one there to support him. Instead, we see Joker Knight playing the flag room a lot more, playing very close to the flag here, which is not what you always expect from Scout. Now here he is able to swap down Sabu, who's been caught by a bunch of players on Blue's defense there. Death Tag does come through, and Finder is likely going to finish this kill here. They did lose 2 players to kill Sabu, but since he's the biggest threat, I think it's fair to say, on Red's offense, probably consider it worth.
It looks like Red offense is kind of split up. Blue just made it across their side totally alone and is now probably going to die here. Gammon and Doodleberry.
Yeah. Both defenses definitely finding ways to split up the players on the other team's offense. Tireless resetting there after getting the kill on Valakon, which may secure the high ground for Brandino, although he's going to be immediately targeted by Wolfie. Wolfie already on 2 hearts, so he's probably not going to win this, and Brandino does actually manage to control mid for the moment. Although it looks like Justin may be trying to pressure and confuse him here. May actually go for the kill, but instead decides to back off.
To hit him once. I would prefer to see Obama do something like that, because I think Justin's more valuable as a capper rather than an archer killer. But Xedra is back in again, so...
Absolutely. And now we have Valakon and Wolfie 2v1 in Brandino. He will go down. Again, Good Vibes very much liking that combination. We do have a steal from Justin, his first notable steal of the game. He's not going to go very far here since he's already on low health, but probably a good sign for Blue Team that he was able to at least escape the flag room this time. Tireless does take out Pudgy on the side, and I don't think there are going to be any backup threats. Instead, we may see Red Team pressure Valakon, who had roamed up to support offense.
We did see Xedra switch to Ninja after he died from Soldier to try and get that backup steal, but Nightshot and DTJ to notice and go right back to flag before Xedra could get that Ninja steal.
Yeah. No, we are going to have Blue's offense try and move through mid. Tireless disrupting, but Wolfie is actually there to support offense, taking care of the ninjas as they pass through. Again, Tireless going to show up, and again, likely he's going to die, but no, Brandino B actually getting headshots from what I like to affectionately call the Tourney spot, playing near his own team's XX. Now, Exedra is back in the game and has gotten a steal here on Soldier. Looks like Spades is trying to control him on the edge of the map, but he does have support from Justin. Exedra dropping there to try and pass, but does actually pick it back up himself, and that's unfortunately not going to let Justin get the flag. He does go down, and on the other side, we do have a steal from Sabu. Sabu trying to make it out towards XX, doesn't have a lot of support with him there again, although Chemist's massive health pool means he can tank hits, and even though he's on 0 health, well, he had a chance, but Gamron took it away from him real fast.
Yeah.
That was a very strange pass by Exedra.
Yeah, very unlucky, because Justin did have about half health and 3 stake there, so that could have been a very good look for them, but unfortunately Exedra kind of goofed there and picked his own flag up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, unfortunately for Red Team's offense, it looks like the medic's been knocked off of XX early, and it's just Sabu and Lu trying to make it over the flag. Now that, Nemo and Lu trying to make it over the flag. Now that Nemo's isolated, he will go down. Same for the medic, and again, Blue Team's defense holds here. So, it'll be interesting to see if these teams continue with the same plan of attack here, since we haven't really seen a lot of variation from either team's offense.
I'd like to see the teams getting a little more daring with offense and maybe start running 5 on offense and 6 on defense, because I think the slow-paced match is not working for anyone. We did see Sabu get out once and pass to Nemo, but that's the only thing that's happened in 15 minutes. So I would really like to see them not play all safe and lame and, make us be watching a more exciting match. That's just me.
Gotta break the deadlock.
Yeah.
And of course, whatever works for these teams works. They're both in it to win it, but obviously you want to see some captures at some point in the match to keep things interesting. Now, we do have Color making it into the flag room. Choowie frenzying him there, and with Justin already quite low, I mean, doesn't look like there's going to be any chances here for Good Vibes' offense.
And that's
you can maybe see some changes here if Beast One's going to still be playing with Blue Team there, trying to cross high ground together. Looks like they're waiting for DTJ to come out of Invis, but what they're doing by waiting for him is actually allowing Spades to close in. And now with Brandino being Spades in position, they're just going to absolutely demolish this offense. Pudgy's the only one left alive, and, just like that, they're gone. Now, I know they definitely want to keep a second soldier in this game in addition to Justin, but Color could definitely fill that role instead of Beast One. Or actually, we could see Beast One swap onto Elf. He did very briefly there, but no, he's going to swap to what I was initially going to suggest, to the Necro. And that's going to allow them to handle these ninjas that are purling over to the offense a lot better, because they don't actually have to wait for them to come out of uninvis. And if they actually allow Beast One to get a little bit of damage off here, well, he almost gets knocked off of the edge, but the Necro definitely is much more able to handle what Red Team's defense is throwing at Blue Team's offense. With that said, Sabu does have a steal. He did get out a bit towards Blue's spawn, but it didn't end up being too threatening. They do still have Duxfan in position, but he's likely going to go down here to damage. Does, in fact, do so. And on the other side, we do see Blue Team's offense actually making it pretty close as a group to Red's flag. Now we see Pudgy go into the flag room first. Not really what you want to see with the medic frontlining, and she does go down. Justin here fighting the group of 4 or 5 players instead of trying to get away. He did have an open exit on the far side, but ultimately was going to be a difficult position for him to capture into anyways. We do have a steal on the other side now from Sabu. He does have medic support there, however briefly, but does go down. Nemo, on the other hand, was briefly able to make it through the flag room door before getting killed by the Frenzy. To visit the bomb's gay agenda, definitely doing some work so far this match. Now, we are going to see Diana in post, roaming over here onto mid again. She's been enjoying playing from this position quite a bit, looking for the offense to come through. I don't think she's found anyone, but does manage to come back in and get an assassinate on Blue's offense as they enter the flag room. Ends up being pretty crucial there, as the entire group of 3 goes down within seconds of entering the flag room proper.
Diana did try that patented aerial from top mid kill offense. She didn't get anyone there, but luckily, thanks to Assassin still being old version, even if you fail your Assassin, you get rewarded by a respawn and you still get Assassinate back. So lucky for her.
The Valicon versus Brandino duel is continuing, but again, as we take a look at it, we see Wolfie actually get in Brandino's way. Brandino now only on 1 heart and will go down. That is again going to allow Valicon control of top mid, and it couldn't have happened at a better time because Sabwu is actually out of the flag room here. He does get stalled, but there were plenty of people in position in addition to just Valicon to get the kill there.
Making a very funny comment that I enjoy rewatching on stream.
Yeah, no, Sabwu always been known to be a little more passionate about the game than some players. I think that's the best way to say it. Sometimes his passion gets the best of him during matches. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Looks like with a little bit of help there, Brandino and the rest of his team are going to be able to take down Valicon, and that should allow Sabwu and Lu to make it over closer to the flag room. Lu does go down, though, to Wolfie as the ninjas target him first, and now Sabwu is just caught in the corner and will go down as well. Both defenses, again, you know, it's been the story of this match, but...
At the same time, it's an 11v11, so it's kind of what you expect.
Yeah,
well, yeah, but I mean, like, teams... an 11v11 is definitely a mode where teams can gamble, you know, put the extra player on offense, and do reasonably well. It's not that stale of a player v player matchup. You just need to see these teams take more chances if they want to break the deadlock. Because, you know, I really do think Choowie Force in particular has to. And the reason why that's the case is because this is one of their comfort maps, right? It may not have been a map they've picked, but it's the map they've gone to in the past after losing maps, you know, after they lost that crushing 5-0 Castle Cavern 6 against Midnight Snacks, right? This is what they go to when they need a win. So if they're not able to take advantage of that, and we move on to the next map, you know, with Good Vibes maybe winning in overtime here, which is always, you know, there's always potential for that. If you go into overtime at 0-0, right? You know, just one lucky capture and that can end up being it. So Choowie Force on offense really, really do have to capitalize here. I think this is very much their map. I think they were sort of gifted getting this first map, by the way the tournament worked out. So you really do want to see them take advantage here if you're hoping for them to actually be able to get revenge here on Good Vibes and correct their one loss from earlier on in the tournament.
Yeah. I was practicing with Choowie Force, I think maybe 2 days ago, and they were practicing a 5v5 sort of situation. I don't think it was intentional, but could be something. Ducks fan
so
gets out
here already here. Yeah, Ducks fan does go down. No further pressure in the flag room, unfortunately, but that was Ducks's, you know, first real good steal, where he actually got some distance. And it might have been a different story there if Choowie Force had more control of mid. Instead, we're just seeing an Archer 1v1 here on the top. Looks like Brandino and Valicon are going at it. Neither one actually landing kills quickly here, as, well, they both use hitboxes, so they'll see everything coming. But finally, we do have some support here in the matchup. Inpost assassinating Valicon, and on the other side, Justin and Doodleberry getting onto Brandino. So the end result of that much hyped Archer 1v1 was both players dying to the rest of their teams. Justin here has actually made it on top of Red Spawn. This is going to be a difficult position to defend, especially if Wolfie is already on Brandino again in spawn. I think this means Justin is going to make it to the flag here rather safely. Brandino is still shooting at him, but Color is able to get a steal with Justin's distraction and is going towards the middle of the map. Does go down to the assassinate, but that was actually a pretty good setup there from Good Vibes. Maybe a sign that they're going to get some better chances in the future. Obviously, I've said that about a few different plays so far, where teams have looked a little more coordinated, and, you know, that hasn't come to anything yet, but a man can hope, you know?
Yeah, I think
like Color being aware that communication is indeed important in winning the match, and hopefully in this last 7 minutes, him unmuting will make the difference.
from personal experience, I think Choowie is a great pyro, but I think an issue he kind of has is awareness. So going from spawn side and blackout has kind of seemed useful to me anyways when going against Choowie. That's just from my personal experience, but
Right. Now we're right back into the action here as blue team's defense, nearly knocks out Lou, and definitely stalls red team's offense there a bit. Lou, unfortunately, looks like he's going to be staggering himself here as he continues to kill players. Oh, you always hate to see that sort of play isn't rewarded. Also interesting right now, Sabu has swapped off of Chemist, which is known to be his best class for Soldier here. Choowie Force actually, mixing up their offense here a little bit. Hopefully that can yield some results for them. Maybe get them a map win here. It'll be interesting to see if his skill on Chemist carries over to Soldier, which I don't think he's really played so far in the tournament.
We're within 6 minutes left on Blackout. Might see one of these teams, or both, put an extra player on offense. Be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
Now,
would go off his main capping class just to play unbuffed Soldier and die when stealing.
yeah, now we do see Brandino in the Tourney spot again, which is interesting, but he does have a steal, Sabu does, going towards XX. Not a lot of support there for him, but the rest of his team may actually be able to beat Blue's defense back to the flag. That is, of course, assuming that Sabu doesn't get a heal, but wow, Lou gets knocked off the edge. Great play from Finder, and that may just kill Sabu here. He's been knocked back to XX. He doesn't have a lot of resources left and goes down. Finder getting the super clutch play onto Lou, just narrowly preventing the restore there. That might have allowed red team to get an advantage in the match. Finder definitely been a rock of blue team's defense so far, so no surprises in seeing him turn up and make a big play, but even so, the clutch factor obviously pretty important there.
Nice shot on him.
Choowie does go down. They roamed up the assassin. Good Vibes did, and Exedra is just out right now. Inpost is narrowly behind him, but will go down. This is a big steal here from blue team's laggiest Soldier. They only really have to get past bars to be safe right now, but actually Wolfie has roamed up and taken out one of the ninjas trying to block his path. The other two, Ducks Fan and DTJ, dropped down, but they've actually unblocked bars for him for the time being. Again, Exedra is starting to fall low here. Quite low, in fact. He needs to get up the wall. He's on 1 heart and will go down.
Oh,
wow.
Really nice. Definitely big shout out to Ducks Fan there for being a really good brick wall to prevent Exedra from going over that. Yeah, just like what Patty said. Really good job on Ducks Fan.
Yeah, very, very close call there from Good Vibes. Obviously, I think they just needed a little bit more support there for Exedra to be able to protect them.
I don't know where their team was. I only saw Wolfie occasionally show up. I don't know where their whole team was. That was just very, very weird not to see anyone else there.
Yeah, big push coming in from red team now, though. Sabu does get assassinated right at the flagpole, but there is going to be a backup steal from Nemo. Nemo heading out towards blue spawn. He's already quite low, unfortunately, and will go down, but there was a backup steal attempt there at the flagpole as well. Fortunately for blue team, Color actually moved over from offense. He was there to buff the team, but also able to prevent the backup steal attempt.
Hopefully we see some offense changes because regardless if this continues being slow paced, a team does have to win this map. So they can keep doing 4 on offense and not capping. I'd really like to see a team take, some, whatever that word is. You guys know the word. And initiative, that is it. Take some initiative and put that extra player on offense to end this map quick.
Yeah, now we are definitely closing in on an overtime here. It's not been a super fast-paced game, as you can obviously tell. And Blackout's a pretty open map, so interesting seeing the 0-0 scoreline as we're approaching 30 minutes. Definitely shout out to both teams' defenses. They've been doing a fantastic job, but some of that is on the offenses. I'm going to be honest. Sabu does have a steal there, does manage to make it out of the flag room, but immediately headshotted by Valicon, covering the angle quite nicely. And on the other side, we did have a steal from Exedra, but similarly, he does go down. These teams are not capturing for a lack of trying. Again, we're going to see this 2v1, sounding like a bit of a broken record here, but Valicon and Wolfie both going after Brandino on mid. It really feels like the pressure onto Valicon has been a lot less consistent. And as a result, he's had mid control for more of this map. I wouldn't be surprised right now if he's up on kills compared to Brandino. Now we are going to have an attempt at a ninja steal here from DucksFan. Netflix doesn't see it yet. The flag is almost picked up, but instead DucksFan pearls into Netflix instead of pearling away. And that's just that. Would have been a good chance there for Red Team's offense. We do also have Inpost here, roamed up to middle. Looks like she's going to be found out by Doodleberry, but actually takes out the Ninja in the 1v1 after taking out Wolfie earlier. That's going to buy some time for Red Team's offense to cross XX. And it looks like Nemo and Lou have made it over towards the middle of the map. Unfortunately, they've been split up pretty nicely here by Blue Team's defense, and Nemo does go down. Have to wonder where the rest of Red Team's offense is. Looks like Sabu and DucksFan are only now crossing the map, and that's not a good sign because of just how split up these players are. You don't want to be sending 2 people at a time on offense. That's just a recipe for disaster. Now, we do actually have Sabu wait up here on XX, but he doesn't initially protect Lou, so Lou's going to take some stake there in terms of damage, and now Finder has made it over. Lou has been isolated by Finder, and it looks like Sabu is just gunning it for the flag, trying to win the 1v2 matchup here against the Pyro and Joker Knight. Joker Knight having swapped over to Medic, which is probably necessary here for good vibes. And it looked like Sabu might have had a chance if the match had stayed a 1v2, but instead, help from Wolfie ends up taking out the Chemist immediately after the steal. Now we're going to have Wolfie help out here on offense, trying to clear the flag room for Color, who nearly makes it out past Choowie, but a last-minute frenzy is able to take down the Chemist. And now, in overtime, 30 minutes into this game, we are still at a 0-0 deadlock. Tireless here helping out on offense for Red Team. He initially went after Valcon, but now he's going for the flag room. I think Blue Team has to be aware of it, and Netflix is in fact setting the flag on fire. Tireless does go down, and since he didn't time it well with the rest of his team's offense, Netflix is just going to be healed right back up. Definitely, I think the flag room medic is probably doing a little more for Good Vibes' defense than the flag room scout was, but
yeah, Joker a very good scout, but I think medic is definitely overall more worth it because Netflix is a very good pyro, and him not dropping as often with a medic will be very important in this overtime.
Yeah, now we are going to have Choowie Force's offense try and cross through here again. Looks like 2 quick steals come through for Exeter and Color, but they're not able to make the best out of them. Wolfie has isolated Lou again, but this time he's survived the assault, and it looks like Sabu has made it over to his medic. There is an archer headshotting this angle, and they are all webbed. Valcon just needs a slightly better approach. But even then, it looks like Sabu might not make it through, even with the medic, because of just how many people got in front of him. Gamron does eventually catch him off guard with the assassinate, but that was going to be a good attempt there for Sabu. Looks like he's blaming his own medic for the web. I didn't catch that at first.
Damn, Lou, what the hell?
Yeah, Lou apparently trolling, as is the case in many Delta Force matches from what I've heard. Finder has managed to isolate the medic again, but Lou actually gets past Wolfie there. Only a brief victory as Doodleberry and Finder are going to catch up with him, and the medic is gone for Choowie Force's offense again. We do have Nemo waiting above the flag room, but he's been found out and forced out. He does get a steal, though. Netflix wasn't prepared for that at all, and he's actually made it over towards XX Dead. This is, again, a pretty good Chemist steal here from Red, but there are many further challenges left. Even with the medic there, you do have to watch out for being knocked off yet again. Looks like, fortunately for them, Brandino is covering the angle. He's held off Valcon for long enough to provide his team with support here, but there is so much pressure on Nemo. Nearly goes off the edge there, and will go down to the frenzy, but Sabu picks it up. And Valcon's not in position. He's barely made it over. 2 players take headshots for Sabu, and finally, Blue Team have caught up again. Gamron coming over the top. Gamron doesn't get the assassinate, and now Sabu is making it over towards his team's flag. He's near red spawn, so he's going to have a lot of support here. I think Blue Team might actually just need to go for a backup steal right now, because otherwise I think this is game. It looks like there's going to be no one there to pick up the flag in time, and indeed, Choowie Force win after one of the slowest games of the tournament. Better job there from Nemo getting the initial steal. good support from the rest of his team, and even with Chemist Caps being as hard as they are on this map, that was a job well done from Red's offense at the end there.
Insane pass into Sponge. Very good match.
Yeah,
That's
very slow match. Reeves did a ton of work on defense, as Red noted in their chat multiple times. A lot of accusating. Sabu at the end said, "Better hacker." It's kind of some BM for just winning 1-0. Let's see if he's going. That's a comment going to bite Sabu in the ass for maps 2 and 3.
Seems like boss here, right? As Velicon got 73 kills in that game, and Brandino got 58. So
big difference.
Yeah.
I think that's due in part to the ninjas roaming up to kill Brand way more than the ninjas roaming up to kill Velicon.
Well, we can check that actually, and in fact, that is correct. Look at these damage received totals here from Brandino B and Velicon. Velicon's taken just under 1,100 damage. Brandino B, nearly 2,000. So almost twice as much damage dealt to Brandino as was dealt to Velicon. Didn't end up working out in the end for Good Vibes, but they definitely kept the Archer in control for the majority of that game. I mean, more than 30 minutes on Blackout, and the other team's Archer only has 58 kills. That's a job well done controlling him. And it speaks to just how difficult it is to play Archer against Good Vibes, with Velicon being competent in his own right, but also Wolfie being able to roam up and play that matchup super well.
What are some stand-up players you guys saw for map 1 on both teams?
Definitely Sabu, obviously for the cap, but also just in general being a big influence on their offense throughout the match. You guys think?
I think Regan did a ton of stuff on defense, even though they didn't end up losing 1-0. I think he was a big crutch, not only physically in the game, but also mentally, because we did see a lot of tilting, all due part to Finder.
Yeah, also worth noting as well, though, Nemo had a quietly good game there. In addition to getting that solid steal that ended up being Red's capture, he also did a pretty good job on offense overall, supporting the rest of his team. Obviously, would have liked to see him protect his medic a little more in a few instances, but otherwise, he was there helping out on offense, playing his role very well. I was impressed.
What does chat have to say? What do you guys think so far is the best player in this game so far?
Well, we do have at least one person in chat simping for B2, so there's that.
Must be
looks like Jillian is confident still that Good Vibes are going to win. Jin being a substitute player for Good Vibes, so obviously cheering her team on from the stream. Always good to see that. And we do have some other comments here in chat now that we've asked the question. Red Boo, of course, being a big fan of Finder. Definitely, he had a lot of impact, I think it's fair to say. Some comments about the sources of Finder's incredible PvP abilities, but we'll leave that speculation to other circumstances, of course.
The wonderful staff of Brawl, who are very speedy with their banning of hackers. They will take it under their wing to figure out the issue.
Great moderation.
But anyways, I think it's fair to say that Finder did have a big impact on this game. Always an important part of Blue's defense, and has been supporting his team quite well. Now, of course, we did see strong play from both assassins as well. They weren't going to 1v1 each other, as some people might have expected with them both going to mid, but they both did have a big impact in Post and Gammon, respectively, stopping a lot of quality chances from both offenses.
I think the power of Assassin before the update happens.
Yeah. A fitting send-off game for Assassin here. These may not be the absolute best assassins to ever play on this patch, but they're both doing a fantastic job this game, showing some pretty cool tech, some cool strategies. As much as other people, certain people find Assassin to be kind of annoying, difficult class to play against because it is somewhat ping reliant. It's hard to say goodbye.
Yeah, definitely.
To any class in CTF. And Assassin, in its previous state, had a lot of cool tech that we won't be seeing again. So,
very sad.
So we do have a minute and a half going into this map, and we haven't even talked about the map yet. So I think it's worth talking about this. Good Vibes picked this map despite the fact that it's a map made by DucksFan 101. I think in part because they absolutely demolished Choowie Force on here in their first meeting. This is a map where Sabwoo's had some fantastic plays over the years. I don't think Choowie Force are going to be helpless by any stretch of the imagination. But definitely a map where Good Vibes have had stronger results in the past, including in their previous matchup. So,
and Ducksman is the map owner, so he could have built a secret capping tunnel before this match. So that might come out today. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's worth checking for that. I see a lot of tunnels under the map, that's for sure. I don't think any of them will be too helpful for capturing, but
Also an Anaheim
Never
Ducks
know.
logo.
One of the Easter eggs in a match has never been done before. So,
anyways, 30 seconds to go. Any predictions for map 2?
I'm thinking 2-0 Good Vibes, and we'll end the stalemate. I think Good Vibes is super strong on this map. Justin and Exedra, or excuse me, Choowie, Sensational and Exedra are a very good capping duo on this map. And I think they're hopefully Exedra's connection's a little bit more stable. We're going to see them tear it up like they usually do.
Alrighty, well, let's jump right into the match. Both teams are spawning in now. And we've had a little bit of a bug that's been present throughout the tournament where sides are flipped. So blue team is on the side coded red, and red team is on the side coded blue. Can be a little confusing, just keep that in mind. Now, already Sabwoo has made it over the map pretty much uncontested here. No one's picked him up, and he's been going to be able to get into the flag room alone here. Netflix probably not going to win this 1v1, and as a result, we're going to see Sabwoo get out. Does get frenzied, though, and Netflix actually able to win the Pyro versus Chemist matchup, one of the more difficult ones in the game to play. On the other side of things, Exedra does get the first steal for Good Vibes, but doesn't make it very far. And we are back to a lull state, but I don't think steals happened quite this quickly, quite this easily for either team on Blackout. So Lou's made it over to blue team's flag room, but does go down quite quickly there. That's going to mean they're going to be without a medic here, as Sabwoo tries to avoid the roaming defense of Wolfie and Finder here. Doesn't look like he's going to get away, and although he survives the fall damage after being at half a heart, Finder's just going to be able to track him down and kill him here. Sabwoo not going anywhere at all. Ducks fan, however, has made it over to flag. Looks like red team's offense is a little bit staggered here. But on the other side of things, we did have a steal from Color. Also worth noting, Valicon and Brandino already fighting over mid. Brandino, I think, got the jump on him there as Valicon has reverted to playing low ground. So Brandino may be in a position to roam up here and support if his team steals. However, we do see a steal from Sabwoo on the other side. Again, he does go down to Finder, who's been a thorn in his side all game. But Sabwoo finding good routes to this flag room means this map may not be as GV-sided as we might have expected.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, we see a nice double team there from DTJ and Tireless, knocking Pudgy off of the map. And Color, as a result, looks like he's going to hold up for a second before going in. Still is on a lot of pots here and uses the jump potions to try and get the jump on Choowie. Unfortunately, knocked away from the flag and is probably going to reset here. If not, he's just going to be chased down by the roaming defense. Sabwoo does have a steal on the other side, and his medic is still alive. Will go down, though, as Sabwoo just goes down to damage. So it's interesting to pay attention to what's going on here at mid. We're seeing the teams get split up a lot, and Blue's defense has definitely found Lou quite early here. They will all go down, but so will Lou, and they'll be right back over, since we're talking ninjas and assassins here, to get after the chemist immediately. Sabwoo already has been found out by Doodleberry7, and that's resulted in the rest of the defense chasing him here. Also worth noting, again though, Joker Knight is back on his trusty scout. We do not have a flag room medic again for TV, and this time it may have cost them, as Nemo isn't picked up and has been able to make it out to mid. The jump potion's slowing him down here, and he doesn't have a lot of support, but good attempt there from the lesser-known chemist of Choowie Force.
The dirty backup steal might pay off as one health pot going behind spawn. Kind of a bad route to take. It's going to take a while for support to get there. No health pot.
No. Going behind spawn, if you're committing to it, is just not a good route. I think he just went with this route because he was expecting blue team's defense to be committed to the other side of the map. But ninjas get over there so quickly, and when they go down, they're right back in front of you and spawn to get the kill. Blue drops the flag there to allow Nemo to get a nice backup steal. Looks like he's
really
going to be taking the smarter route and go up to the top of flag room to try and get out towards mid. Wolfie is there to catch him, and Finder is in front of him as well. Looks like the headshot, actually, from Valakon is going to take him down. But despite the fact that they're allowing steals, Good Vibes are repositioning in front of these flag holders quite well. So, and again, it's been a bit of a lull state so far, but both teams getting good chances here. Once one of them makes it out to mid, I mean, we may see a first capture here pretty soon. Certainly hope so. Now, Brandino's moving up to mid here. Looks like he's going to be trying to go after Valakon, but Valakon has picked him up, so we do have an archer duel over control of middle here. Both of these players can respawn quite quickly, but Brandino and Valakon have actually just switched over to going after the offenses here. Sometimes in a matchup like this, it'll just be which archer returns their attention to their counterpart faster, but instead, Valakon runs away to try and finish more kills. Wow, Wolfie actually getting a lot of damage there onto Brandino, but not quite enough to have value.
Those 100 ping ninjas are pretty awful to deal with.
I feel like we're seeing the offenses get a lot more split up so far this finals than they have been earlier in the tournament. As I say that, Exeter gets a steal, but he doesn't make it very far out of the flag room. But I don't know whether to attribute that to just the offenses not playing as cohesively. Maybe they've had less opportunities to practice with the rest of the teams wrapping up play and, you know, some of the other circumstances leading up in this long break to finals. Or it could just be the defenses are doing a better job. I haven't really seen enough to make that call so far, but definitely we're seeing a lot more, you know, players playing by themselves, playing in groups of 1 or 2 instead of moving together as a cohesive unit of 3 or 4, depending on what you're going for. So
I believe that's in due part to both teams having very good roaming and being able to split them up. I think it's also on kind of the fault of the offense for just not, you know, taking a deep breath and kind of recuperating once you do get split up. Yeah, and also agree with Patty.
yeah, definitely. The 4v7 split does make it quite difficult, but you usually don't want to split up quite this much. Even so. We do have a good chance here from Red, as Sabu is going to make it in unnoticed from the side. He has been caught inside the flag room, though, and likely won't be making it any further. Was a good opportunity there for him, though, as he wasn't picked up until the moment he stole the flag. Good reaction from Good Vibes, but you want to be roaming out for the Chemist a little more. Sabu is a real big impact player, and you don't want to let him just do things uncontested like that. Now, Patty brings up an interesting point here. We haven't seen any elf outside of a very brief swap from B-Swan earlier on in this tournament, as Sabu, again, was trying to go towards the other team's spawn there on his initial route, but it's instead switched things up after the swap and will be going over towards trees and bushes here. He's been knocked actually very far forward, boost from one of the ninjas there on blue, but has actually been caught since then. Will go down to damage. Again, Sabu getting a pretty good chance, though. At a certain point, he's just going to get lucky here. I think this might be a map win. Oh yeah, Tireless making it out towards Ying Yang. Unfortunately, gets blocked by Wolfie. And pearls into the invisible ninja and gets stopped. But what a good chance there.
Yeah, I would have liked to see B2 maybe pass the medic right there versus trying to go to spawn. But I'm sure with Perlman's up, we're going to keep getting these really good opportunities. And eventually, like you said earlier, something is eventually going to happen, which is going to lead to a cap on Red Team. Good Vibes, to our, like all of our surprises, have not been doing that well on offense.
Yeah. Interesting route there from Sabu, just not respecting the Pyro at all, going right back through the flag room. And although TV wasn't actually able to do anything to stop him, Joker Knight was able to just swap him back, and the rest of the team caught up there for Good Vibes. But Nemo being the secondary threat has been an interesting look here for Choowie Force. I mean, I think, you know, we're going to expect Ducks fan to perform, we're going to expect Sabu to perform, but this third threat they have, Nemo, is really giving Good Vibes some trouble. And it's allowing, I think, as well, Sabu to just take these side routes and not get caught on the way in. Blue, of course, was there to give him regen, but hasn't restored him. Will be there actually to try and get the restore off now, although Finder is getting in the way, and I think is just choosing to... Well, he hasn't really selected a target, and that might allow Sabu to get all of his potions back. He does, in fact, get the restore, and Duxfan is there supporting him as he heads towards... this is actually blue team's spawn. Looks like Wolfie is trying to get in the way, but Diana has actually roamed up and stopped the archer from just punching Sabu back constantly. A lot of support here for Sabu as he's heading up towards middle. Blue team, of course, roaming over quite well, doing a lot of work here to try and slow him down. Joker Knight nearly making it over his scout, but Sabu has actually dropped to the bottom of the map here, and after a little bit of a boost by Wolfie, not much, but a little bit, I think he's actually made it into pretty safe territory here. Obviously, a lot of blue teams still there trying to get in the way, but it could just be a capture here. We do have a steal from Pudgy on the other side, but the medic is not the player you expect to see stealing the flag. I think they just went for a desperation backup steal, and it looks like Spades is putting a lot of pressure on her. BTJ there as well to look for the flag if she does try to pass. Inpo's going to drop down, going to kill Pudgy, and Sabu is still very much alive here, safe behind his own team spawn. Justin is going to get another backup steal, but he's run right into red team's support for Sabu. Looks like he's going to drop the flag, will go down, and that is a first capture for Choowie Force after many, many, many good opportunities for Sabu. I think good
really
vibe.
Showing the power of Kim with Reds and his pretty good natural account with Chemist. Really good routing choices and really clutch moments on Sabu to get that first capture.
Yep. He's back on his crutch class, and he's showing why he's so good at it. It's not just his mechanical ability. He's also able to take these routes to really minimize the amount of damage that he takes going across the map, so that even if he plays solo, you know, even if he is not supported by his team at all, he's just sneaking across the map, and by the time he makes it to the flag room, he still has a full set of potions. Now, it'll be interesting to see what blue team's offense does here. If they commit more people on, you know, if they change up their tactics at all. Justin there does go down to the headshot, but Exedra is going to make it to the flag. Choowie, of course, right there to take him out. The one soldier not really a threat to one of CTF's best pyros. And as a result, we will just see blue's offense sputter there on the way in. Now, we are going to see Wolfie roam up for the archer here again. I honestly don't think it's as effective on this map as it is on Blackout because of the faster respawn times for archer to get into a position that matters. But even then, he did take out Brandino. Brandino, you know, as mentioned, is already back in position to headshot Good Vibes' offense as they enter. But, you know, Good Vibes have to change something here. I don't think they're getting chances that are really going to be rewarded. Joker Knight actually goes in for the scout steal and pulls some of the defense away, but they're able to make it back over before Color can make it into the flag room. Now, we do have a steal on the other side. Nemo actually getting the steal this time. He does go down, and although there was Ducks fanning around in the area, he's been caught. Same deal here for Sabu. This time, he's not going to be able to sneak in, and does go down.
No flags on the play.
So, and I think it's fair to say that Good Vibes' defense has been doing a fairly good job overall. Obviously, if you limit the opposing team to 2 captures over what's been almost 50 minutes here, you'd normally expect to be in a pretty good position overall. It's just that with Blue's offense sputtering as much as they have, and, you know, with the offense versus defense matchup player-wise being a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Good Vibes maybe push up one ninja to maybe like play offense a little bit. Wolfie's kind of been doing that, but maybe see someone playing actual offense would kind of make the difference here. Because for offense, it hasn't been working for the past, you know, the 2 maps that we've been playing.
So pay attention to Nemo here. He's already out to Yin Yang. Does go down to Doodleberry there, but he did have medic support. He just kind of outran it a little bit. Sabu is going to be there for the backup steal and is going out on top of the flag room. Exedra does have a steal on the other side, but goes down quite quickly. So this steal from Sabu definitely a little bit more of a threat. Looks like he's trying to outplay Gammon here and does actually get the kill on the assassin. He's still actually in a decent position in terms of resources, but he's looking for a pass. resources being health. He's out of potions. Looks like Doodleberry is going to knock him down. That's knocked him to very low health. He's on half a heart. I think he just needs to give up here and go off the edge of the map. Still 6 minutes to go. Good Vibes looking for an equalizer to send this match to overtime at the very least. DTJ has found out Pudgy here and is able to get the kill, so that's really going to throw a wrench into Blue's next offense push. Exedra, of course, trying to make it in through top. He's been playing Soldier fairly well here so far. They haven't really had the same chemist threat, though, on offense this map, and I think that's worth noting as a difference between these two teams. Justin and Exedra can both absolutely place chemist. I know it's definitely something Exedra is a little more accustomed to doing for this team's offense. I think on a map like Pagoda 3, you do sort of have to go with the two chemist look, but they're going with two soldiers instead. And we're really seeing Choowie Force benefit from these two chemists because of how much damage that they can take, especially on a map like this where most of the defense is going to be fast respawners and so on and so forth. Sabu again has made it out to the middle of the map, actually, passing now Blue's spawn. He's been isolated from his support a tiny bit, but the swap is actually going to fix that issue for them quite nicely. Death tag does go down, though, and because Lou wasn't paying attention, Sabu will as well. Just not enough support there to... Yeah, Joker Knight doing a good job, actually, with the death tag. But yeah, we'll see if Good Vibes bring in that second chemist. Maybe they're just not confident that Exedra's connection is going to be good enough. But no, actually, they put Wolfie on chemist offense, right as I mentioned that.
Very interesting choice.
I don't know, maybe you watch hockey or soccer, but this is something similar to like having the goaltender or the goalkeeper play as an outfielder. That's sort of what I see it as. In an
Yeah.
11.
Right, they need something to happen different because, you know, this past, what, 46 minutes, they haven't been doing anything well on offense, so.
Yeah. Now, with that said, Wolfie is a bit more of a multi-classer than you would expect a goalie in hockey to be. So
Yeah.
we'll see if he's able to have an impact here. He has made it into the flag room alongside Color. This is a lot more pressure here as Justin has also gone onto the Necro to support this bulkier offense. I do think having the threat of the second soldier there might also be good, but you know, definitely good to see Good Vibes changing up things here at the last minute. Maybe if we had seen this look a little bit earlier, they'd have a better chance, but as it stands, their backs are firmly against the wall, and I think we're seeing Choowie Force recognize that and send more people on defense.
Yeah, and as lame as it is to Turtle, I think it's pretty smart when you're in the tournament final to play it safe, just last for 3 minutes and take the dub. So we'll see if they can manage to do that. Nemo is out though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to abandon your offensive threat here, and obviously Nemo and Ducksfan have gotten some good steals here. In the meantime, Nemo being pressured pretty hard here. He's on low health, and his medic is not quite there yet. We'll go down to Cameron before Lou's able to make it over, but
I don't know why he jumped down there when he could have passed off to the ninja right in front of him. Questionable choice. Jumped down into blue team.
yeah, it's possible that they were expecting a ninja to be close there somewhere, but I don't know if that was necessarily the case. Justin and Exeter are now both on Soldier again. We are going to see the Chemist try and break in through the main entrance here. Wolfie alongside support from Pudgy. Still, the just burst damage in that flag room with Old Assassin and with the
getting out here.
You know, it's a lot to deal with.
Side.
Yeah, Ducksfan has made it over to spawn. Again, this is one of the downsides of putting more people on offense. You give up more chances here. And obviously, since you're playing a pretty big defense to begin with, you can still play a four-man offense. You were getting chances to begin with, so you're still going to force Good Vibes to not abandon their defense entirely.
Yeah.
2 minutes left in the game. This is closing in on the end of the map here. Pretty desperate situation for Good Vibes at this point in time. Looks like Lou has just decided to chill. He hasn't been spotted on top of Blue's flag room here. Does drop down, though, and gets killed for his troubles quite quickly. On the other side of things, we are going to see Color try to make it through middle. We have the two soldiers heading over the spawn building as they have been doing so far, but Exedra did get headshotted on the way in. Justin waiting above the flag, but he has been spotted, has to go for the steal here. He's forced to, and does go down. So 1 more minute left, just 1 minute for Good Vibes to turn things around, maybe save their tournament.
Can they pull a flush here?
Yeah, if this push doesn't end up in a capture, I think we're going to see Red's offense play defense and kind of seal the deal. The blue really has to make something.
They have to get the recov there on Sabu. Fortunately, Gammon finds it with the Assassinate, but there is going to be a backup steal here for Choowie Force as well. Nemo getting the steal, and although he may get knocked towards the edge here by Doodleberry, I think he has a little bit of survivability. Does go down. And on the other side of things, we are going to get one last desperate attempt here from Wolfie98, trying to get the Ninja Steal. He'll go for it again, but it's hard to imagine Good Vibes capturing here. Choowie Force are on the edge of winning this map. Just 27 seconds to go. Looks like Exedra has swapped over to Ninja as well. They're really giving it everything they can to get this Ninja Steal here for Wolfie. Gets knocked away from the flagpole at the last second. There are other players there to try and steal, but I don't think it's going to happen. Good Vibes, I mean, they gave it a good effort. Justin is going to get a steal out towards mid here, but he's not going to be able to cross the map in time, and that is going to be that.
Pretty
a very entertaining match.
Honestly, kind of boring, a little bit unexpected. It was a 1-0-1-0, but I don't think it was a close 1-0-1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Choowie Force had the edge a little bit throughout. Obviously, we expected Good Vibes to show some of the strategies they had shown in the past on Pagoda's 3, and they came in with a look that I don't think suited the map super well. In addition, Sabu was just getting a lot of value all game. I think you have to give him player of the match, player of the game.
Not for the black cap, but definitely for this cap. This cap was one of the best chemist caps I've ever seen, I think, in a match.
Justice for the bedtime boys. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a close game, a competitive game still, but it really did feel like Choowie Force had all the cards the whole way through, even if it did end up being a 1-0-1-0. Obviously, this is a nice turnaround for them. Choowie Force having lost in week 2 to Good Vibes, now able to come back and win the tournament finals against the only team that had been able to beat them. Good Vibes had a very nice tournament run, I think it's fair to say. Undefeated the whole way through, although they did get some scares. And both teams were pretty good going into this finals, looking pretty good. But at the end of the day, it's all for nothing.
Yeah.
And Choowie Force managed to win this draft team's tournament.
So, what do we think the player of the game?
Definitely Sabu.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's uncontested.
He was the X factor on Choowie Force's offense in a 4v7 scenario for the offense. If you're that one player who's able to carry, if you're the one player who's really able to get past those overwhelming odds on defense, then you definitely deserve player of the match. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So, I think that's about to do it. Would you all agree, or are we missing something?
Yeah, no, absolutely a fantastic game. I think we all enjoyed this game here, and I hope everyone enjoyed this tournament. Definitely something a little different for CTF right after the teams tournament. I'm not sure if there are any events planned for the future outside of the upcoming US versus EU matchup that I think a lot of people are excited for. That'll be coming up not too long from now. And I think we can all agree that NA is going to completely stomp EU, and Europeans are just mad because they're bad,
Agreed.
For sure.
And good riddance to Assassin and Chemist. I hope we never have to see you again.
Yeah. Free bedtime boys.
Yeah, Res 1 Chemist has definitely been a big part of both the 2020 CTF tournament and this draft teams tournament. Well, we saw just how strong it was today. I think we also saw a lot of value from the Assassins on both teams. So definitely classes that may have warranted a little tuning. Anyways, it's been a really exciting tournament. I think it's fair to say. Myself and Trev, who've been hosting, have definitely enjoyed running things here. And while the trendsetters were definitely robbed of being the best team in the tournament, you know, it was honestly a very competitive tournament. I don't think a single team went winless. And we had a ton of close matches all the way through, which made the few blowouts we did have feel that much more earned, if you will. So I hope everyone's enjoyed the tournament. I hope everyone enjoyed the match. Good game to both Good Vibes and Choowie Force. And that's going to be it. This has been Bosque alongside my co-commentators.
Pesto.
And we're signing off.
Free bedtime, boys.